Okay, we're going to go ahead and start this meeting. Welcome, everybody. Just so you know, this meeting is being recorded. We'll be posting the video of the meeting on our building trainer website so that everyone has access to it. We know that not everyone can make these meetings, but it's our time to kind of touch base with you, reach out, maybe share a few announcements. Well, I'm going to share my screen with you right now.
Oh, you're good.
Hopefully everyone can see that. So this is just an outline of what we'll be doing in these meetings. Any announcements that we have, we just have a couple of them here today. We'll do at the beginning of the meeting. We'll do a quick tool spotlight. Today we'll be talking about Canva, and then leave like at least the last half of the meeting. This will be just a 30-minute meeting, the last half of the meeting for question and answers. Today we have Eric here, Eric Farron, who can answer questions on Infinite Campus, on iReady, and probably about anything else you have. Corey's here to offer Canvas support. And then I'm here, stay on as long as you need to answer any questions. If we don't have the answers, we're glad to go find them for you and then get back with you. So you can ask questions anytime using the chat. If you want to get on chat, or we'll open it up to questions for the group at the end also. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing here with just a few announcements. I know when we did the training that you came to in August, Eric came and gave you the introduction to Mastery Connect and said that he would be coming out to each of the schools, to your teams and to your grade levels to give you more training. Eric, do you want to update everyone on that, how that's going to work now?
Oh, sure, but it's mostly in your court at this point, because what I've been asked to do since I'm switching over to tech services starting in January is I've been asked to move some of the Mastery Connect training over to the digital coaches, who will be largely supporting that particular training as you continue to go forward and reach out to them for additional help and support. I don't know. I don't think the digital coaches yet have come up with a schedule or a timeline of how they want to do that, but that's where we're at the moment.
Yeah, so we hope that maybe you've been looking at it. We're going to be on a secondary level. The secondary digital coaches will be meeting with the content specialists, the math specialists, the ELA specialists, the science specialists, social studies, try to figure out a way that maybe we can start developing content or what it would look like in those specific content areas. On an elementary level, we're mainly going to be focusing on science and social studies, since there are plenty of assessment tools that we're already using as far as benchmarks for language arts and math with iReady and Acadience and Amira and you name it. You elementary trainers know how many tools are already there. So we'll be focusing on science and social studies, but we'd also like teachers to know that they can use Mastery Connect just as a quick formative assessment tool in their own classes without using it as a district benchmark. We will be letting you know as soon as how we're going to be pushing out that training and what groups will have priority. So does anybody have any questions about that, about Mastery Connect?
I do have a comment.
Yes.
So if Mastery Connect is just kind of for us to use this year, could we hold off trying to train until after we've got Amira for the younger grades or for the elementary grades? Because we're just barely starting Amira training. So I think if we do Amira and Mastery Connect right on top of that, I think it's going to
We're aware of that. We're looking kind of like at the training load, especially on elementary teachers. So don't worry about that right now. I think what our focus is going to be is maybe working with the content specialists, like with like Cami on the science end and with the social studies, to see if we can start maybe putting some curriculum maps together and looking at the questions to do as much pre-work for teachers as we can. So when they go in to use it, a lot of, some of that stuff's already been worked out. So
Perfect.
we're really, Carolyn, thank you. I mean, that's a really great point for on an elementary level. So don't feel like you have that pressure right now for you to do any training.
Okay,
Just kind of hold off on that. We'd love for you, if you have time, to look at it yourself, but we are trying to roll it out in collaboration with content specialists to make it part of that training and have them help us in developing what that's going to look like. But certainly
perfect, thank you.
we certainly don't want to wait, like give it a whole year just because we have a
Oh, right.
3-year contract and we don't want to waste a whole year of our contract.
Yeah,
Doing
just
stuff.
another month, another month.
Another month, yeah. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Don't worry about it in October. How's that?
Okay,
That'll
perfect.
be better.
I was also asked by elementary ed to talk through just really briefly on Amira. The main tech people for Amira is not the school, not you guys. The main tech people is to help out with questions and problems, and Amira's are the instructional coaches. So we just wanted to make you aware of that.
So yeah, refer those questions to them. So thank you, Eric. The other thing is just an update on Reflex Math for this elementary trainers again. We did run that clever integration last Thursday. We had a few problems come up. For the most part, these would be the first 2 troubleshooting things. I can follow this up with an email, just didn't get it out today. One is most of the problems are just like 1 or 2 students aren't showing up on the teacher's roster, or that there's extra students that aren't in that school. If there's extra students, the teacher can just delete them from the class. Sometimes students aren't showing up because they don't have an assignment. They're not going to show up, and that student isn't going to have access to Reflex Math unless they have an active assignment. So that's just one little troubleshooting thing. The other thing is, if they already created a Reflex class before we did the clever integration, they're going to end up with 2 classes, the one they created and the new class. So they need to delete the old class. But if there's still problems after that, I haven't got any emails today about issues, just email me directly or have them email me directly. We don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity on the teacher level. I don't have the capacity even on the school level to add students to classes. Reflex, the Explore Learning actually has to do that for us because they are actually creating those rosters. So any questions on that with the Reflex Math? So, all right. We're going to look at Canva then really quick today. Let me just move my toolbar here so I can see my. How many of you, I guess you could just, can you vote? I can't remember on Zoom, the thumbs up or something. If you've used Canva before, or are you familiar with Canva? Thumbs up. So this is something that we hope that you could share with your teachers, and we'll send you out some resources that you can share. I just wanted to go over maybe a few things with Canva that maybe you're not aware of or things you can know. First of all, make sure that your students that are using it know that they have access to a free educator's account. So if you look like where I'm signed up over here, it says education under it. If they don't have it, or even today when I logged in, that wasn't there, and I just had to go to my account and verify that I was an educator, and then I got the free account. They made these available during COVID, and then they've just kept it available for this full premium account for all teachers. We're looking into the possibility of making this automatic district-wide. So a teacher will just be automatically connected to the premium account if they have a NEBO address. And this would be for students as well. So they would have full access to premium Canva. So we're working on that right now. We just have to work through some data privacy issues to make sure that that'll work. Corey's helping me on that. So as you know, there's all sorts of different templates that are already available. I'm gonna move this just a minute. hide my meeting controls. Okay, so basically, you can go up here and create a design on the upper right hand. Well, first of all, I was going to show you a quick presentation. This was done by two of our elementary coaches, Heather and Katie. Just some examples of things that they've created on Canvas. Just going to take you through this really quick. Canva. Daily, and these are things that have actually been created in our district. These are different posters, give you some ideas, some different. You made a signature. They're just using the business card template to make signatures that you can add to your email. This is a quick little 10-minute training you could do with your faculty. Just have them make a quick, business card, show them some of the functionality of Canva, and then show them how to add that signature onto their email. Certificates, a lot of certificate templates. Google Forms, there are flyers, invitations. It's just like a very nice graphic designer. One difference between using this and maybe what we've used before, like Google Drawings or maybe some other editors, is that there's so many photos, elements, graphics that are already freely available on there, and you don't have to go out and search. You can upload your own, but there's so many that are readily available. Task cards, invitations, luggage tags, tickets. There's classroom templates, posters that are already set up, the templates for class rules. A lot of these can be sent depending on the size. Just download them as a PDF and have them printed at the IMC. Bulletin board. These are all created from templates that are already existing in Canva. Ink charts. There's a lot of worksheet templates that are available. Classroom announcements. So those are just some examples of some things that have already been created.
I'm just really quick.
Yeah.
Just telling the group, you introduced that to me over summer. Something that I thought was incredible is all those templates that you guys are looking at. Each one of those, like all the fonts, the colors, the animations, all of those you can change. So
Yeah,
none of them are like baked into those backgrounds. All of them can be customizable, which is pretty powerful.
Yeah, they're really customizable. You can start with the template, especially those of us who don't consider us to be graphic designers, and start with this template, but they're very customizable. So you go up here to the right and create a design. You can see ideas of what you can create. I was just playing with this whiteboard today. It's like a expandable infinite campus, and it has canvas and it has different backgrounds, and you can share it with your students, and you can build. There's different mind maps. I think that's the brainstorm. If you look at this, they have all these different mind mapping tools over here. These are templates. You could set it up for whatever you want. If you want to share it with your students, there's a share button right here. You can share a link. You can share it directly to Google Classroom. Corey, we haven't looked at a Canva integration with Canvas, have we?
I haven't.
We might be able to look into that. I think there's a Canva LTI, so that students you could create an assignment, a Canva assignment, and it would copy it and create it right in Canvas. So if that's something that you're interested in, we could look into that. You can share it, you can download it to print it, or you could share it with other people. So again, going up here.
It is integrated into Canvas. There are some limitations though, but you can do it.
But you can do it on your own. We don't have to do it on.
Heidi and I did it together.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Some other designs that you may not be aware of are the presentation. So the presentation that I started with was actually created in Canva. If you haven't tried the Canva presentations, it doesn't have all of the functionality of Google Slides, but it does give you some really nice templates that are a little bit change up from if you're getting tired of using the same old templates in Google Slides. How many of you have used Canva presentations? Scott, is there something you particularly like about them that you want to share?
The thing that kind of makes them a little bit different is when you're doing graphs or when you're doing responses, they actively change with your Excel documents versus a Google Sheet. The other thing that's cool about them is on the left side where it says elements, there's animations.
Right.
And those animations will activate as you go throughout. They're fun. I mean, they're more interesting and they have a more complete look than Google Drive, unless you put a lot of work into your Google sheet.
And there's a few things that you can do, like I'll show you here when you're showing your, all this, there's a few little, like there's a blur, there's a mic drop, there's confetti, there's different animations that you can add into there as you're doing it. So something to look into if you want. They're easily customizable, and they're also easy to share out with your students. There's just a link that you give them. Again, I would go up here to my share button, and you have restricted to only people added, or you can get a view only link. You can download them. It would print as PDFs. Another cool thing that you could do is, I'm just going to go back to my home page, is Canva also has a PDF editor. So if instead of going to create a design, if you go to upload here, you can browse your files and you can upload videos, images, and files. I'm just going to find a PDF file right here and open it. Sometimes it won't pop. I go up here to view my file. There it is right here. And that is completely editable. Like if this came in as an image, I probably couldn't edit. Well, let me see, edit the image right here. There's not much imaging I can do if they brought it in, but all my text here, my tables, everything is editable. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of editing capabilities. We're about done with the time. Does anybody else have a favorite thing that they like to do with Canva? I haven't been following the chat, but so again, I like to use it for there's lots of templates. There's Canvas button templates that are already in there. There's headers for Google Classroom, for Google Sites. I've been using Wakelet as a content curator, and they even have little Wakelet buttons that I can put on my Wakelet. So instead of designing any of these from scratch, go to Canva first and see if they have a template that's already created. Oh, all right, that's going to do it for that little tool spotlight. I'll follow this up when I send out the link, or maybe on the page where we have this link, I'll also just put a link to some Canva training resources that you can share. All right, let me just stop sharing my screen here. I hid my, I did a mistake and I hid my toolbar. Oh, there, I brought it back. Stop sharing. Bring it back here. Does anybody, so again, we've got Corey here, Eric, and myself. Do any of you have any questions? And we've got some chat here. Let me double check.
I have some specific to like iCampus and Canvas
Okay, please,
integration. So I have a couple of faculty members. The two issues that were brought up was one, the scores that are being put into Canvas are not porting over to iCampus. And the other is, and I'm not familiar, I need to be. When you put in like a date in Canvas as to when an assignment is given, and in iCampus that student is absent, will it automatically put in a missing on that assignment?
No.
Okay.
No, unless
Well, I
the
didn't think
student,
so.
well, unless the student is not enrolled at that time. So if they come in late or they're dropped, then it will show missing in Infinite Campus.
No, these are students that have been enrolled. They're there, but when they came to me, I said, I don't think that's a capability that it has. I think you actually have to put that in as missing yourself. So,
and the teacher whose scores aren't passing, have them call or email me.
okay. And by the way, you're looking like the jolly old fat man there, Corey, like Santa Claus
Thank you.
himself. It's a nice spirit. I love it.
I noticed that, Justin, you asked about having Mastery Connect, like a launch page with how students are going to view each question type. Eric put in this launch page right here.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, we can access those. I just didn't know if there was something that can be made to, I just had some teachers that have been
Yeah.
trying to build some, and then they like get going on one of them, and then once they've like created it, it just doesn't work. for
It
how
looks
they want it to
different,
be.
yeah.
Yes.
We're
So I don't know if there is just something that we can create.
like a student view, right?
Yeah,
We're
student
not
view
seeing
of
that
like each
student
question,
view.
even if that's all it is screenshots of the student view with the question type.
We'll bring it up. We're talking to Mastery Connect, and they're going to create like a dummy account for us and a dummy student account and a dummy,
Okay.
because we're dummies. And because we had the same problem that, sometimes we've been running into the same issue where a teacher creates a question and then it presents differently than they anticipated it would when students see it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
We'll give them that feedback too and see if there's a way that maybe that's an ask for Mastery Connect. So Eric, do you know anything about that? Is there
I
a
mean,
way?
I know mine automatically logs me in as a student account still, unless I
Yeah, I
like
know. I
type it
actually
in. So
reached
like, I know
out.
there's a way, but I can't assign a thing to me to see it. So
Yep, I reached out to Mastery Connect on that particular issue.
Kind of similar to like a student view in Canvas. Is that what we're talking about? So you could see
I
it.
think
from-
either thing would be, that would be great.
Okay.
To give some feedback to Myra's question about scores not going into Infinite Campus, me and Eric, what we found we had that as a big issue at Salem Junior, and a big decrease happened when we told our teachers, make sure you only have one tab of Infinite Campus up. As it tries to sync from Canvas, as those scores come over, if you have like multiple Infinite Campus windows open while it's trying to sync, then it can kind of backlog and save on one that didn't have the update running. As we've asked our teachers to make sure you just have one active Infinite Campus window running, that saved a lot of that missing information not making it in.
Thanks,
Weird.
Scott.
The other thing is, don't close your Chrome browser and don't turn off your computer until the updates happened. We noticed a little bit of that things were kind of waiting, kind of backlogged before the grades actually synced over.
Weird.
Bryce,
Doesn't
did
make
you have a
sense.
comment or a question? I thought. he
No,
was-
sorry, it just wasn't muted.
Oh, okay. Any other questions? Why we have everyone here? Anything anyone wants to share that they had a really good experience or an experience with your faculty? Everyone want to be done with their day? We'll call it a meeting then. Hopefully these will be helpful to you. We'll follow up. Please reach out anytime you have these other questions. We'll follow up on that Mastery Connect issue. And I will share some Canva training resources for you. All right. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate everything that y'all do, and have a good night.
Hey, Pam,
Yes.
have you heard anything about Mystery Science?
I haven't heard back from them, but I
Okay.
did talk to, I do have some feedback for you from the science specialist from Nate and Cami. They looked into
Okay.
it last year. Let me forward that email to you.
Okay,
So we can use it. The problem is that their standards they're aligned to they're not aligned to the Utah seed standards.
right.
They're aligned to
Well-
other standards. So they have a crosswalk that kind of
Uh-huh.
says, here's, if it's this standard in their standards, here's where it aligns with the seed standard. So,
Right.
but I'm waiting to hear back from Mystery Science. So I haven't heard
Okay.
back from them. So,
Okay, perfect.
but let me forward this email from Cami and Nate.
Okay, that would be great. All right,
Okay,
thank you so
thanks,
much.
Carmen. Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.